The federal government says it will soon lift the suspension on Twitter operations in Nigeria. We give you details of that decision. And the leadership tussle rocking the All Progressives Grand Alliance has reached the appeal court, but the Jude Okeke faction insists on fighting on after Victor Oye was declared the national chairman of the party. Hello everyone and welcome to Politics Today live on Channels Television. I'm Sean Kimbaloye in Lagos. Well, let's begin by letting you know what stories that we've been keeping tabs on. The federal government says government officials will not be exempted from paying road tolls in a new open tolling policy approved by the Federal Executive Council today. The Minister of Works and Housing made the declaration today during a briefing after the council meeting. It makes the emphasis that open tolling and not a closed one is tenable in the past and will not begin immediately, but the framework for the road policy which was adopted today will guide the new tolling system so that local people, states, local governments, all those who manage roads and interested investors will understand the nation's tolling policy. Mr. Fashola further explains that after wide consultations with various sectors, including the National Assembly, only diplomats and military, paramilitary officials will be exempted from the electronic toll collection on the dual carriageways pronounced eligible for tolling by the federal government. The council equally proposed that bicycles, pedestrians, tricycles, motorcycles and other 2- or 3-wheeled transport used mainly by disadvantaged members of our community will be entitled to a full 100% exemption. We'll tell you more of what came out of the Federal Executive Council today. Like I told you, what we've been keeping tabs on, a major story in the land. Let's tell you about some of your political roundup stories.
Former Governor of Imo State and Senator representing Imo West, Rochester Okorocha, has lost his attempt at the Federal High Court sitting in Abuja to restrain the Imo State government and the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, from confiscating his property. The former governor sought an interim order to restrain the EFCC and the other defendants from taking any action during the vacation period of the court. In his decision, Justice Ahmed Mohammed refused to grant Okorocha's application on the ground that he would have to hear the motion challenging his jurisdiction to sit on the matter during the vacation. He adjourned further hearing to the 24th of August 2021. Some election observers are advocating the strengthening of institutions that could stand the test of time, particularly through the introduction of some reforms in the electoral process. They also agree that free and fair elections, especially at the state level, is an achievable goal. Speaking at a meeting to review findings from the recently conducted local government elections in Lagos and Ogun State, the observers note that there is an urgent need to give state electoral umpires the kind of attention that has helped to upgrade the performance of the Independent National Electoral Commission.
We have lost concentration. In fact, we've not even been paying attention at all to the state independent electoral commissions.
The National State House of Assembly has passed into law a bill for a law to repeal and reenact the National State House of Assembly Financial Management Law 2021 and for other related matters. The Speaker, Ibrahim Balarabe, announced the passage of the bill into law after the Majority Leader, Tanko Dunga, moved the motion to that effect during the House proceedings today. The Speaker said the financial autonomy of the House will ensure transparency, accountability and good governance in the state.
State House of Assembly Financial Management Law 2021 and for other related matters, third reading and pass.
The governor of Edo State, Mr. Godwin Obaseki, has attributed majority of the crime being committed in the state to the increasing cases of drug abuse. He explains that cracking down on the use of hard drugs will go a long way in dealing with the security issues. Mr. Obaseki said this in a briefing after a monthly Joint Security Council meeting at the Government House in Benin City, the Edo State capital.
One area we'll be looking at, we've asked that further investigations be carried out so that we can reduce the reoccurrence of situations like that.
The People's Democratic Party in Kano State have refuted claims that it supported the call for the removal of Uche Secondos as the national chairman of the party. He addressed a press briefing where it described the rumor as a mischief from the ruling All Progressives Congress in the state and disloyal members of the party.
It is important for the general public to know that our party members in the state remain loyal to our National Executive Council, NEC, National Working Committee, NWC, and the Board of Trustees, BOT. And we are working tirelessly to see the success of our party in the upcoming 2023 general election.
Hundreds of women across the 16 local government areas of Kwara State have held a rally expressing their support for the state governor to contest for the second term in office, having in their view performed well, especially for the women folk.
He has done a lot in which we seem within ourselves as a women in Kwara State that we should celebrate him today.
Meanwhile, at another location, a group known as Third Force under the All Progressives Congress has come to another political party, the Young Progressive Party. At the former party secretariat, which has now been repainted with the logo of the YPP, the former chairman of the APC in Kwara Central Senatorial District accuses the APC leadership in the state of not carrying members along, coupled with intra-party crisis, which has been lingering.
So there you have it, your political roundup stories. So let's tell you that the federal government today said it will lift its suspension on Twitter operations in Nigeria, and that's going to happen in a matter of days. The Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, made an announcement today after the Federal Executive Council meeting chaired by the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo. Mr. Mohammed disclosed that the status of the conversation with the micro-blogging side has reached an amicable stage, with agreements reached in all areas except for 3. Take a listen to the minister.
The end for an amicable solution is very much in sight. We quite appreciate the anxiety of Nigerians who have been worried that 2 months after the suspension, we have not been able to finalize talks. But I just want to assure you that we have made tremendous progress. As of today, we are not aware of any Twitter representative in Nigeria. And we said that representative shall be a staff of Twitter, but it must be one that has access to the global management of Twitter, so that he will not, so that he can serve as a liaison between Nigeria and Twitter, so that we're able to, the country representative should also have a physical office address to Nigeria. Then finally, we asked that Twitter should immediately establish a local compliance and grievance redress mechanism to be domiciled in Nigeria and to be, be staffed by persons who understand local context and our culture. So this is broadly what we have sent to Twitter. Twitter has responded, but there are a few areas that both parties are yet to agree on. And I think Tolu, probably the last communication was on the 10th. That communication from Twitter was, I think, on Friday, right? Yes. So I must say that it's a matter of days rather than weeks. Hopefully, right? I hope in a few weeks' time or a few days' time, we should be able to reach an agreement with Twitter. There are many. I think we'll just have about 3 or 4, about 3 areas really, where we have disagreement, and even those areas, not really disagreement, is more about when would they do it. For instance, look at the issue of office. Well, they are saying that probably it will be between 2022 that we can have an office in Nigeria. Those are the small gray areas that we are working on.
Well, So we do hope the conversation over that will continue and see how that goes. Well, to our discussion for tonight, everyone, an appeal court, Kano Judicial Division, yesterday set aside the judgment of a Jigawa High Court which nullified the leadership of Victor Oye as the chairman of the All Progressives Grand Alliance, APGA. The three-man special panel led by Justice Samani struck out the Jigawa ruling and upheld Victor Oye as a duly elected chairman of APGA. Well, Victor Oye was reacting yesterday to that judgment delivered by the three-man panel of justices of the appeal court sitting in Kano. Mr. Oye says that the judgment is a watershed in Nigeria's political history. Meanwhile, the Jude Okeke faction of the party says the judgment of the Court of Appeal Kano only set aside the Jigawa State judgment and did not make any order in respect of the governorship candidate of the party, and that is not ordered INEC to accept Professor Soludo as name as the candidate of the party, while he said Owerri High Court and the FCT High Court judgment are still valid, which is subject of appeal, ordered INEC to accept Honorable Omelji's name and not tamper with it. Well, the Jude Okeke faction says they are heading to the Supreme Court. Tonight, we do not know what INEC is doing or saying about the judgment of yesterday. But the judgment of appeal court is not the last bus stop. There's still going to be an opportunity to appeal at the Supreme Court, which the Jude Okeke faction says they will make happen. So where does APGA lie in all of this? Because one major issue in APGA is who becomes the candidate of the party ahead of the November 6th governorship election in Anambra State, which is a big deal for the political party, considering that the only state that APGA has is Anambra State. Let's get talking and let's dig deeper into this. There's been reactions, and we'll get to hear also from Victor Oye, the Chief Victor Oye, the chairman of APGA. But first and foremost, the Jude Okeke faction who says they are going to Supreme Court. Let's find out the reasons why they want to go to the Supreme Court. Chukwunyere Ikechukwu, who is the publicity secretary of the Jude Okeke faction, joins me from Oka. Thank you so much, Mr. Ikechukwu, for joining us. First and foremost, let me get your reaction on yesterday's judgment. From the statement that we have, it does look like you're not satisfied and you want to go to Supreme Court. Why?
The volume is very low, Sean, but good evening, Nigerians. It is important that we state the fact as it is. You know, the era, and the world is a global village now. The era when people push out fake news and not an opportunity to respond or to confirm the authenticity of this news is gone. Now, with me here is the judgment of the Kano Court of Appeal. I don't know, I've sent it to you, Sean. I'm sure you can probably show Nigerians. I want to read what the order says. It said, the appeal is meritorious. It succeeds and it's hereby allowed. The entire proceedings of Jigawa State High Court in suit number JDU/022/2021 delivered by Musa Ubale J on the 30th day of June 2021 and judgment thereon are accordingly set aside. The consequential orders made by the said court in judgment are also set aside. What was set aside is the question. What was set aside was purely whether the matter is a pre-election matter or not. Who remains the authentic candidate of APGA at the Anambra State governorship election is still remains the one, the Right Honorable Chukwuma Umaji. That was never tampered with. The justices of the Court of Appeal never made any statement on that.
Mr. Ikechukwu, let's take the issue one after the other. Just a moment.
I should recognize Toledo is only misleading. Now,
just hold on. If you hold on for a moment, so that we can take the issue one after the other, so our viewers can get a sense of what this matter is all about. So let's get it one after the other. let's get it one after the other. Now, the first and foremost is that, have you accepted the judgment of the appeal court in Kano that Victor Oye is at the moment the national chairman of APGA? Has your faction accepted that?
There's nothing like that. I want us to look at the judgment of the Owerri High Court. It says that the convention, the order is the judgment from the Owerri High Court. It says the National Convention of APGA held at Owerri, Imo State, 31st May 2019 is valid, lawful, and in accordance with the orders of the Court of Appeal. Now, if you go to the G section of it, it says that the first defendant, INEC, is hereby ordered to accord third defendant the due recognition and forthwith continue to accept recognition, recognize and publish the name of Honorable Chukuma Umoji. Now, there's a court in Owerri. There's a court in Owerri that has accepted the 31st Convention. And so people cannot come and then begin to deceive Nigerians. The authentic national chairman of APGA, as elected by the National Executive Committee of the party, remains High Chief Jude Okeke. And there is no court, there is no court, there is no superior court that has today vacated that order. And we have the INEC must respect this order as stated by the Owerri High Court.
But Chukwunyere, the appeal court, isn't an appeal court a superior court to a high court?
I am saying that what the appeal court ruled today, yesterday rather, was a pre-election matter. What they ruled was a pre-election matter. Now, as to who is the national chairman of the party, it's stated here that the authentic national chairman remains Jude Okeke, as stated by the Owerri High Court.
But that's not what the appeal court said. The appeal court is perhaps the latest court, and because it might be confusing if you're saying that the latest judgment was that of yesterday, and the court said it is the Victor Oye is the national chairman. That was the ruling, and it upholds Victor Oye as the national chairman, and it rules out the Jigawa judgment.
Hold on. I have read the judgment of the Court of Appeal to you today. It said the appeal is meritorious, it succeeds, and it is hereby allowed. You cannot ask for rice and get bills from the Court of Appeal. What they asked was, the matter before the Court of Appeal was a pre-election matter. Now, the court is not a bazaar. What is before the court is what is before the Court of Appeal is who is it a pre-election matter, which the court gave their order and never ruled on should Okeke be the chairman or should Oye be the chairman. And as long as there's no order vacating the Owerri judgment, that means that Jude Okeke still remains the national chairman. You can't be asking for something that I'm getting another thing. It's not possible now.
Okay, so because this is quite interesting, the perspective in which you're looking at it from is quite interesting and a bit different from perhaps the way the Victor Oye group is looking at it. Just in a moment, I'll come back to you. Let me go to our Abuja studio where Chief Victor Oye joins us now. Thank you so much, Chief Oye, for joining us tonight on the program. Give us a sense of what the judgment of yesterday means for you, because from the other side, it does look like they are not content with what happened yesterday, and they think that they're going to the Supreme Court. In fact, they still think that Jude Okeke is the valid national chairman of APGA.
Shehu, let me be very frank with you. If I knew you were coming to pair me with that guy, I wouldn't have been here. You know, this is the first time I see a television station inviting the national chairman of a party to come and square up with a miscreant. It's very, very disappointing. Look at what that guy is saying. It shows that he's mentally, he doesn't grasp the import of the whole thing. He's a confused person. Is befuddled by the weight of what happened yesterday. So you shouldn't have, allow me to talk.
Just a moment.
Have come on this program.
I will allow you to talk.
Should have allowed him to
I will allow you to talk, but I would not like us to go personal with anybody. The same way he's representing his own group.
Listen carefully. Don't bring me here to begin to square up with somebody who doesn't have the legitimacy, the constitutionality, and the legality to discuss with me. A higher court had ruled on this matter, and you brought somebody who is still discussing the judgment of a court below. It doesn't make sense to me. Do you understand?
It might not make sense to you. It might not make sense to you, Chief. Apologies. No. Just a moment. If you no, Chief.
Brought me here.
Chief, can you spare a moment and listen?
Of the judgment.
Chief, we invited you on the program because there are groups and there are different opinions on this matter. As much as your group has a right.
Him on another occasion, not the same occasion
Chief,
with me.
Chief, you will not tell us how we will run the program, Chief.
To Jigawa State.
I will allow you to speak if you allow us.
They went to Jigawa. Let me explain what you asked. Now, you can't put words in my mouth. Allow me to talk.
Go ahead.
They went to Jigawa State nocturnally and obtained a judgment. Okay? Without joining the national chairman of the party, myself, and the party itself. They went to Birnin Kudu, a situation that took place in Anambra State. They traveled 946 kilometers to Birnin Kudu without involving the national chairman of the party and the party APGA itself, and obtained a fraudulent judgment. Okay? Now, we allowed them, we took the normal course of law. Even before we went to appeal, they had already gone to appeal. This was what we call collusion in law, collusion. We business. They went to Birnin Kudu, obtained a fraudulent judgment, confused the judge, engaged in perjury, forgery. That's what they did in Jigawa State. Then they went to Court of Appeal. That was where we met them. The Court of Appeal sat, and they gave a unanimous judgment. The judgment was clear that all that happened in the court below in Birnin Kudu was null and void. And when you talk about jurisdiction, the Court of Appeal also took time to explain the difference between substantive jurisdiction and territorial jurisdiction. They did that in the judgment. And they now agreed that the court below, which is the Birnin Kudu High Court, did not have territorial or substantive jurisdiction. Again, the court ruled that by not joining OYE and not joining APGA, they had done a serious harm to their suit. And the judgment was clear that everything that happened in the court below in Birnin Kudu, everything was set aside, which includes that Judo Okeke is the acting national chairman of APGA, that Chukwu Mumoji should be the candidate for APGA. All these things were quashed by the Court of Appeal. What the man is talking about, the court in Owerri, is trying to confuse the public. It is not proper, it is not right. The judgment was very, very clear. If they were not satisfied with the judgment of the Court of Appeal, the important thing, the right thing for them to do should be to go to the Supreme Court without making any noise, without confusing the breeding public, without confusing the masses. They shouldn't be giving publicity. That is not done anywhere in the world. When you lose a case, you go home and sleep. If you are not satisfied with the judgment, you go to Supreme Court, which is the highest court in the country. And let me tell you, if you are going to Supreme Court, are you going to Supreme Court as what? As who? You must go to equity with clean hands. These people have nothing to offer. I don't want to use foul language, but you know that the law, what these people did, was criminal. Why should you go to a hotel in Area 7, Abuja, Gariki, Abuja, and purportedly held a NEC meeting? Do you know what NEC meeting means? In APGA, I am the national chairman of APGA, and according to Article 13(1) of our 2019 Constitution, I am the only one authorized, mandated by the Constitution to convene a meeting of National Working Committee, National Executive Committee, and National Convention of the party. But the people went and organized themselves in a hotel in Abuja and called it a NEC meeting, a meeting of not up to 50 persons. According to our constitution, Article 11 of our constitution, we have 608 members of NEC. The governor of Anambra State is a member of NEC. I am a member of NEC. The 30 other members of NWC are members of NEC. Then six assistant national officers of all the offices in the party are members of NEC. Then all the members of the National Assembly are members of NEC. All the members of state houses of assembly produced by the party are members of NEC. The 36 state chairmen and their secretaries are members of NEC. That is how the party structure is. But these people organized themselves and went and announced themselves a national chairman, acting national chairman. There is no provision for acting national chairman in the constitution of APGA. And let me also make it clear to all Nigerians that these people you see, I have called the Inspector General of Police to look into this matter. These people should be called to question. They must tell us how they came to create this confusion in Nigeria. It is not proper. A party that has been running very smoothly, INEC came and monitored our national convention on the 31st of May, 2019. And your station, channels, aired it live. Then the court took judicial notice of the judgment of Oka High Court, Anambra High Court, Oka Division, that the judgment of that court given on November 2020 should subsist. That judgment has not been appealed by anybody. And the judgment was clear that our national convention held in Oka on the 31st of May 2019 was valid. And that Dr. Victor Ikoye is the national chairman of the party produced by that convention. Very, very clear. That judgment was submitted to INEC. INEC did not take notice of it. INEC ignored it. There was a judgment from Federal High Court, order from Federal High Court, Oka, given to INEC. INEC ignored it. The court order says INEC should maintain the status quo by publishing the name of Professor Chukwuma Soludo, already uploaded by the national chairman of the party on INEC web portal. INEC ignored all these things and obeyed the judgment of Birinin Kudu. And now that judgment has been thrown out. All right. What INEC should do without hesitation is to publish the name of Chukwuma Soludo with immediate effect. That's the correct thing to do. Let us stop playing hanky-panky. Let Nigerians begin to speak the truth. The truth cannot be buried. The truth is unassailable. When you begin to play with the truth, you are only creating a big problem for yourself.
All right, Chief, we will take a break, but when we come back, we're still on this matter. There are a lot of issues that I'd like you to address tonight. Honorable Imeoji, if he's a member of your party, whatever has happened, because you politicians say it's a family affair. Now, you say you don't know the man that was speaking there. We'll talk more about Judo Keke and his group and what their grievances are and what the future holds for your party ahead of the Anambra governorship election. We'll take a breather, everyone. And when we come back, Anambra governorship election, the stance of APGA, as far as INEC is concerned, who is APGA's candidate? More on that when we return from this break, everyone. Join us again. Thank you so much, everyone, for staying with us right here on Politics Today on Channels Television. It's a very nutty, touchy issue that we're discussing tonight. It's about the future of the All Progressives Grand Alliance, APGA. The national chairman, Chief Victor Oye, is in our Abuja studio. But it does look like the judgment of yesterday is not going down well with the Judo KK faction, who have sworn that they will be going to the Supreme Court to challenge it. And that is what we're discussing. Chukwunyere Ikechukwu is the publicity secretary of the Judo KK faction of the party, and he joins us from Oka. Well, let's get back to our Abuja studio. Let's get some clarity. Chief, if you look at this, the judgment from Kano High Court, the appeal court, the Judicial Division in Kano from yesterday, the bottom part of that judgment, if I may quickly read it out, so that you can give us a sense of what you make of that judgment. If that judgment can be put right on the screen, the last page of the judgment, which reads, the the appeal is meritorious, it succeeds, and it is hereby allowed. Can you react to that portion of that judgment, Chief?
Yes, the judgment is very, very explicit. I don't know why you need any interpretation. It says that the appeal is meritorious, which means the appeal we filed was meritorious. It had merit, and it succeeds, and it's hereby allowed. And all the 5 reliefs sought in that appeal were granted by the Court of Appeal. All the 5 reliefs. Now, they didn't read the other ones for you. The entire proceedings of Jigawa State High Court in Birnin Kudu, delivered by Justice Musa Ubale on the 30th day of June 2021, and judgment thereon are accordingly set aside. Number 3, the consequential orders made by the said court in the judgment are also set aside. What were the consequential orders? 1, that Jude Okeke should act as the national chairman of APGA. 1. 2, that INEC should deal with him in the issue of submission of names of candidates. That was what the judgment said. Now, having set it aside, it means that this issue never even came up at all. That's what it means. That these issues raised never came up at all. That's what this judgment is talking about. That these people went to court in Birnin Kudu. All that was decided by that court, all the consequential orders dismissed, set aside, which means INEC should go to status quo ante bellum. That's what it means. Go back as if nothing had happened. Go back from the point before the so-called crisis started. And what was the situation? The situation was that I, as the national chairman of the party, we had already submitted the name of our candidate and deputy governorship candidate to INEC. So INEC should go back to status quo ante bellum. That's what the judgment is all about. Why are we talking as if we are not learned at all? We're not lettered.
Chief Jude,
I've never seen any place in the world. I've never seen any place in the world where people come on air and begin to discuss the judgment of a court. It doesn't happen anywhere because the judgment is explicit. I don't know what anybody wants to achieve by what is going on. This year's station, I was here. I told you that at the end of the day, that God will walk because He is God, and God walked because He is God. Yet people are not yet satisfied. You are still bringing in people who wanted to hijack the party from nowhere. They do not have any legitimacy, no legality, no constitutionality, and you are still dealing with these people. It is not proper. That is why Nigeria is not working. It is because some people out of greed do not want to do what is right. The Court of Appeal, Kano, has settled this matter.
All right, Chief Victor,
listen, what your station should be doing now, we should be reporting the positive side of that, and not bringing people who, I don't want to use the language you said I shouldn't use. Otherwise, these people they are talking about, they know themselves. The man you're showing on screen there, that man you're showing on screen, he knows me very well. And he knows that he's not supposed to be there talking about APGA. He knows it very, very well. He was former national youth leader of APGA, sacked by APGA under Ume's administration. He does not have any business with my own administration. At all. It's an impostor. You should not be showing him on this screen. Let him come to me and I will tell him who he is. The law must take its course. These people should not be giving publicity again. It is not right.
Chief Victor, you can administer the affairs of your party, but I'm not sure you can administer the affairs of our television station or how we run our journalism. We give fairness and balance to all sides.
It is my right
just
to
a moment,
speak the
just
truth.
a moment,
I
just
can
a moment.
Speak the truth to power. You cannot tell me not to speak my mind.
Listen to me,
I'm a journalist. Are you teaching me my job? I'm a journalist by profession. A journalist of 40 years.
Chief,
can't be teaching me my job.
If you can calm down and let's not get too emotional about this, because people that are sides to this matter.
I'm very straightforward.
if you can calm down, let's have the conversation, the civil one. Now, if there are sides to this matter, we will not. When the court judgment was against you, we allowed you to speak your own side of the matter. Let me ask you, do you know Honorable Umeoji? Because, I mean, now you've told us that you know the man over there. Initially, you said you don't know him and that he's not a member of your party. Now you've confirmed that he's a member of your party, but it doesn't work in your own administration or your own leadership.
You are speaking for me. You are putting words in my mouth.
I'm not putting words. I'm asking you a question, Chief.
I said that man you see on that screen, he has not met me face to face. He has been communicating with me, asking me to give him opportunity to address a world press conference on behalf of APGA. And I said, no, I don't know you. You do not exist. That man you see there, I have all the text messages all over I have it. Okay? Now, these people you are talking about, I don't know Judo, okay? I've never met him in my life. That man on screen, if he knows God, ask him if he has ever met me physically. But he has been writing text to me. That man on that screen there, that's Chukunyere. Ike Chukunyere. He has been writing text to me, calling me and telling me you have been doing well as national chairman of APGA. That your regime is wonderful.
So what?
3 weeks after that, he went on a rebellion.
What went wrong? What happened? What went wrong if he was the one who was saying you were doing well? Now they are the ones who are saying they are going to the Supreme Court.
No. I'm telling you about that guy there. These are not people you deal with. They will put you in trouble. You show yourself. They will put you in trouble very soon.
If you are on the side of truth,
they are
nobody
not
will be
you
in
trouble.
Work with. No, nobody is working with anybody.
No, I'm telling you now.
If you're on the side of truth, as a journalist, we'll deal with every side of the divide to give balance and fairness. The same way we will invite you, we will invite any other person that on the other side.
He said that when I was in trouble, he gave me opportunity to speak. Did I tell you I'd never been in any trouble? They went to Jigawa and brought a bizarre judgment. That judgment should be consigned into obscurity. It shouldn't be discussed in public. You knew what happened. Even you know the truth. You don't want to speak the truth. It's because these people are carrying money about. They are giving them publicity. You cannot buy justice with money. Because the truth is unassailable. We will continue to speak the truth. We were built APGA, brought that you talked about Chukwumumoji. Yes, Chukwumumoji has been a member of our party. We considered him in 2019 and gave him ticket to House of Representatives. I signed his form. APGA gave him ticket. Okay? He came to APGA and bought form to contest for governor. He bought the form. The form was sold to him. He filled the form and returned the form. If you go through the form was filled with errors. Tipex everywhere. Apart from that, the committee screening panel did its job thoroughly and found him not worthy to contest. Okay? And he was disqualified. He wrote a petition by proxy. The petition lacked merit and was dismissed by the petition panel, screening panel. They dismissed his petition as lacking in merit. The next thing we had after 3 days was that he has formed his own APGA in a hotel at Gariki Area 7. Does it happen anywhere? Is that how you run a political party?
Yeah. So
let me wake up from sleep.
Yeah. So now you because you are saying that
wake up from sleep and form your own party. Is that how we form a party?
You made a very strong allegation that they are throwing money around. I would like you to substantiate that because that's a very, very weighty allegation that you have thrown here. And when we wonder, if you say they are not to be heard, how come that the court heard their case?
You see, that's why I'm telling you that there's a problem with the way you're asking me questions. You have your hidden agenda yourself. Everything I say must pick a hole in it. I said money cannot buy justice. That's what I said. Money cannot buy justice.
But when you say that they are not to be heard, how come the court is hearing them? That's the question. If you said they are not to be heard,
they should not be heard.
You said they are imposters. You said
what
they are
I'm
imposters.
saying, listen to me very carefully. Allow me to speak. Shehu, allow me to speak. What these people are doing is not good for Nigeria's democracy. And I'm looking at you as a very young man. If life is led this way, it will be a very difficult life. You must learn to stand by the truth and speak truth to power. What is happening in APGA today? APGA is not in any crisis at all. And there are no factions in APGA. I told you this when I appeared on your program here the last time. There is no crisis in APGA. This crisis, so-called crisis, are man-made, created by some persons for their self-aggrandizement. We don't have any problem with APGA. APGA is doing very, very well. We are content with one state we have, and we are growing all over Nigeria. We are a very peaceful party. We accommodate everybody wherever you come from. Once you conform with our ethics and ethos, you become a member of our party. What APGA does not tolerate, APGA does not tolerate injustice, irresponsibility, and indiscipline.
All right, Chief.
The party is supreme. APGA is a political party, is supreme. If a party disqualifies you, must you throw yourself on the party by force? It is not done anywhere, Shehu. It's not done anywhere.
Chief, you've had your say just for a moment. Let's hear from Chikunyere Ikechukwu. I would like you to respond because Chief Oye has said a few things about you, one of which he says that you're an imposter. Would you like to respond to some of those?
All right, thank you, Shehu. It's important that we understand that first and foremost, I'm a respecter of people, and I will try to avoid using gutter language like some persons do. You see, illiteracy is never shown by age or position. That is not my call. I just want the Nigerians to know the truth. There are 3 court judgments before going to appeal court in Kano: Owerri, FCT, and Jigawa. Now, if the Jigawa High Court judgment supposedly has been vacated by the Court of Appeal, why you now ask the question that what did the Court of Appeal judgment, Court of Appeal rule on? What they rule on, like I've already read before, and I'm still going to read to you again. They said the entire judgment of Jigawa State High Court in suit number delivered by Musa Obale on the 30th day of June 2021 and judgment thereon are accordingly set aside. And we ask the question, what was set aside? What was set aside is the matter a pre-election matter or not? And having said that, okay, they've set it aside as a pre-election matter. What about who is authentic national chairman? And what about who is the authentic candidate of APGA? You now go to the court in Court of Appeal in the Federal High Court of Owerri, where the court said, and I quote, that the National Convention of APGA held at Owerri, Imo State, 31st May 2019 is valid, lawful, and in accordance with the orders of the courts of law. You see, when you see area market traders come on TV and talk, it is very easy to know.
I will not entertain, Mr. Ikechukwu. I wouldn't entertain this kind of language the same way I said earlier. No. We will not entertain the use of foul language on any personal attack on any person. But clarify, just a moment. Let me throw the question to you, please. Just calm down. One of the issues raised by Chief Victor Oye earlier was the fact that one of the prayers that you went to court in Benin Kudu to seek for was that the court should recognize Jude Okeke as the one to present the name of the candidate to INEC. But if the court has set aside that judgment, where do you stand? You have said in your statement that you are going to the Supreme Court. And I asked you earlier on, if you are going to the Supreme Court, do you respect the appeal court judgment?
Sure, Kimaloye. Like I've said before, we are already appealing the judgment at Kano Court of Appeal. But irrespective of this, I also want you to understand that the Court of Appeal, the court in Jigawa, never expressly stated that Chukwuma Moji is the candidate or Judo Keke is the national chairman. But the court in Owerri specifically stated that the national chairman and the national convention that are held in Owerri is valid. It also said, it instructed, it gave INEC an order. He gave INEC an order saying that they should field Chukwuma Moji as the candidate. Now you go to the document in the Court of Appeal. There was nowhere, there is no place where it was stated that Soludo should be the candidate. I want us to understand one thing. Victor Oye, is claiming to the chairman on April 17, 2019, wrote to INEC saying that they wanted to organize convention, organize congresses on the 2nd, 3rd, and 6th of May. Now, and the convention was going to hold on the 31st of May in 2019. On the 10th of May, when results came in, and he discovered that the delegates so far elected were not going to be in his favor. What did he do? He ran and went to convoke his friends together and called it a NEC meeting. At this NEC meeting, it is on record that BOT members were not invited. At this so-called NEC meeting, what did they do? They decided to reschedule Congress already held to 19th, 20th, and 21st. He also moved the convention from Owerri to Oka and now dissolved the BOTs. Now the BOTs went back to court in Kwale and immediately got a judgment, an expected order from the court in Kwale, saying that every resolution reached at that next meeting is a nullity. Now, on 31st of May in Owerri, Jude was elected as the national chairman. Now, on the 15th of June, the NEC came together and said the crisis in the party was too much. Jude go and rest. He was suspended. Victor was suspended. Was suspended.
Who are those who are at that NEC meeting? Who are those at the NEC meeting? What was the attendance? Just a moment. What was the attendance? Because in the structure of a political party, there are those who are statutory members of these structures. Who are those that were at the NEC meeting that suspended the national chairman of the party?
They recognize, go to our constitution. Our constitution states who are NEC members. And the BOT members were included in this NEC meeting. Every member that is supposed to be the state chairman were there. Everybody that's supposed to be part of that NEC meeting was there. And there was an accreditation. What document was used to validate these things? Is it saying that...
I'm saying, can you mention a few people who are at that meeting, at that NEC meeting? Because these were some of the issues raised. Hold on, Mr. Ikechukwu. These are some of the issues that was raised. Can you mention some of those who are at that meeting? Some of them, they should have names. Can you mention them by their name? If you can mention 5 people.
Come again, you're very low, you're very faint.
I'm saying that you said at that NEC meeting, the national chairman and some officials of the party were suspended. Before that could happen, it does mean that there must be a properly constituted meeting of the NEC. So can you tell us at least 5 people that were in attendance at that meeting?
All right. The deputy national chairman then, Judo Keke, was there. Hello?
I'm listening. Go ahead. Go ahead, please. I can hear you.
The national publicity secretary was there. Legal advisors were there. BOT members were there. And
who are the BOT members? Was the governor of Anambra State, was he there?
The governor of Anambra State is just one man out of other NEC members. The NEC of APGA is over 200. So if one person, of course, it was not even all the members that came to the meeting.
Okay. So another question I would like you to, just a moment, Mr. Kechu. Another question I would like you to answer is what Chivoye asked you earlier. He said you are an impostor. He said you sent messages to him to help you in addressing a World Press Conference on behalf of the Victor Oye leadership of APGA. Is that true?
Sean, you see, I was going to make a statement, and you asked me not to go down the quarter way with him. Now, a man, I'm going to ask you, Victor, that the first time he ever came to APGA was at his convention, which I was the secretary at that convention. The convention that brought in Oye, the first time he ever appeared in any APGA function, I put it to Oye that which APGA function that he attended before his convention in 2015. I was the secretary that brought him in. But
is it true, Mr. Ikechukwu, is it true that because he made an allegation here that you were reaching out to him, but because perhaps he's not listening to you, is it true?
I'm an impostor. The same way I said I'm still the national youth leader. The same way can this be a man that has, I don't want to say he has a questionable character. But this man, he says A and he says B at the same time. He was the same person that said he doesn't know me, that I'm an impostor. The same man again is saying that I'm a former national youth leader. So if he comes from national TV and says I am writing text messages to him, what do you expect from him?
All right. So because we're out of time now, let me now give Chief Victoria the opportunity to respond so that we can close the program. Chief, your final thought on this and the way forward for APGA.
Anyway, I'm happy you listened to that man mumbling and fumbling. He didn't answer the question, but I thank God that the truth is coming out gradually. Anyway, thank you for this opportunity, because the truth, as I said, is unassailable. For us in APGA, we believe in unity, oneness, and brotherhood. I don't have anything against anybody. What I do not like in my life is after you have done something good to somebody, it's paying you back with evil. It's not fair. I don't have anything against anybody. APGA is our party. It's everybody's party. I believe in something in my life, that life is vanity. It will come to an end someday for each of us, every one of us. It will come to an end. You will have to answer for every deed you have done on this earth. God will ask you a question. I want all those people who are feuding with the party, drop your guns, drop whatever you got, drop everything, and let's work together, because APGA is going to win the forthcoming election in Anambra State on November 6th. The governor has done so well. The people are happy. Go to Anambra and see the jubilation. Today alone, within 24 hours, over 10,000 people gathered at Ekweme Stadium and marched to Governor's Village in Aguleri to solidarize with him. That is the popularity of this party. Since these people emerged, they started calling themselves national officers of the party. The whole place has been solemn. People have been mournful. People have been angry. But we told them to keep calm and keep trusting God. Once you place your hope and trust in God, God will never disappoint you. So I thank you for this opportunity, and may God bless all Nigerians. May God bless APGA. May God continue to keep us alive to see what will happen tomorrow.
Thank you so much, Chief Victoria.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate National Chairman of APGA and Chukwunyere Ikechukwu, the Public Secretary of the Judo KK faction of APGA. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for coming tonight. That's our show for today, everyone. And thanks for watching. I'm Sean Kimbale. Bye for now.